Morning everybody, CT, and we're gonna be keeping a little quiet today, but we're gonna revisit the command packet, and what we're gonna do is we are gonna see if we can make everything on the server appear on the client. So let's see what we got so far. Hit F5 here. See, we got the server awaiting client, and we have this script running. Now we should be able to go to the client, play this, and you can see the server start sending something, these full updates. And if I look at my client, I'm getting them here. So okay, cool. Server and client are talking to each other. Now we got to debug this code into something that the client can actually show in the scene. So let's see what we're doing here. Sorry, just thinking. Okay. What's up, Pedro Player 99? How's it going, dude? Okay, so this is the command packet. Right now, this is the format. We got the name of the name size and the name of the server, which I'll keep. Tick rate, update rate, and tick. I'm gonna keep those. The size of the packet, I'm gonna keep that. Are you the first what? Okay. Instance ID. Instance ID. That one's gonna still exist. Yeah, you're the first one here. Game object ID. Yeah. And component ID. So these I gotta figure out. So even I guess without looking at this, what I want to try to do is make a client with some ideal code, like on every receive. I want to do something. Okay. So let's see if we can do that. Man, this is gonna be hard. Alright. Hard, but not too hard. So on the client, we're gonna have this client controller with the client controller script. Now this script's gonna be kind of in depth, because what's gonna do, it's gonna take the packets and do something with each of the packets. So let's give Visual Studio a couple years to load. Here we go. Yep, do whatever you gotta do. Alright, so first we're going to get the command. Do you know how to tile the textures and not stretch them? That's an interesting question. Yeah. I mean, you gotta kind of have to know what your object is that you're putting the texture on, and then just make sure your UVs are set up appropriately. So you might have to do some calculation in your scripting, maybe. So okay, first we're going to try to figure out what the command is here. So I don't know why I don't just make this a command packet, and then I just say packet.command. Yeah, and I probably don't even have to do that. I'm going to say if packet.command equals command list.FullUpdate, then we're going to do what? We'll process FullUpdate packet. Okay, I'll make a method for that. And let's see. From here, we're gonna have this full update packet. How do we want to actually parse this? So I guess I'll make this game object data class, and it should be very similar to Unity scenes, like game object stuff. It's gonna be tough. So let me take a look at the Unity game object stuff, since that's kind of the format I've been playing with. So I'm gonna stop this. Where's the Unity scene? Here we go. So it's the Unity scene in YAML format. I'm gonna kind of steal this just in a less, not as cool format. Or I won't actually go into this text format. It'll stay in like a C+ format. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So I'm starting to see why I'm using the format that I'm using under. Alright, hold on, let me close everything but this, and the actual server, which is server controller. So yeah, when I'm actually making the packet here, this kind of feels right. So I'm gonna get instance ID. I think that's right, but I don't think this part is right. Instead of game object ID, I might just make a it might be right, but let's name it something else, like object type ID. And I guess I only want to support like not that many types. Pop up a Google right quick. C# max short value. $32,000 or 64K, I guess, if it's unsigned short. Are you short? Okay. Keep everything int though for now, just because I forget that's just the easiest format to do. Okay, so object type ID is going to be an int, and Alright. So this is the thing, like every single like game object or script or anything that's sent across the network is gonna have its own set of values. So I guess I gotta be very specific on what I want to send over the network. So I'm gonna take a second just to think. I think the game objects transform is something I definitely need to send over very, very carefully. So that's yeah, so that's important. So yeah, let me look at Unity and kind of just figure out how do I want to send this. All right, so if I'm looking at this, my client's not going to have any information about this sphere, right? So I understand that. And let's pop up like a notepad. Just so I can kind of get this in my head, and I'll make sure it's kind of bigger so you can see it. Alright, so sphere, right? We're going to try to send this across the network and make sure it syncs and everything. First time it ever makes it, it's not going to have much information about it. So, if I want to make this game object as is, this is what I'm going to have to send over. I have to send over the game object, sphere, right? And, alright, just to put this in perspective, I'm going to send over the game object. And the game object's going to have some components to it. It's going to have a name. It's going to have a tag. Whether it's enabled. Basically, everything that exists here in the Unity scene file. So if I go to game object, or better yet, sphere, all of this. So if I open Unity in this, and I just paste all of this. Ugh, alright. I'm not going to worry about this. Alright, so you have prefab stuff, so if you're connected to a prefab, serialized version, I don't know what that is. Components, so it's going to need to know what components it is. Yeah, all of that, very important. So you can see it has a lot of components. What layer it's on? Yep, that's important. Name, tag, icon, alright, so somehow game object, I'm going to have to put this information in the bytes and then retrieve the bytes from alright, so you get the idea that we're going to send all this information across the network with the full update packet. So it's going to be kind of big. I'll just look at it here. So if I go to game object, wherever that may be, where is game? Okay, game object is going to be here. So this is what I'm planning to do. I guess I can make it a 2 bytes kind of thing. So it's going to be something specific to the server. And I might just make it an extension function. Maybe in the scripts, maybe. So if I add a new item here, and we just say util. Oh, it already exists. Then don't worry about it. Nope. Alright, no problem, no problem. Forget that I'm doing that. Alright, so I have this util function already. Let's say public static. Let's say we just get a byte array out of this, right? And we just say game object. What do we call this? What's this going to be called? Get bytes from this game object using Unity engine. Yep. This dot game object. Game object. And that's it. Okay. So, let's figure out what do we need to get the bytes from this from this thing. Okay, there, here. So we're gonna need the size of packet, or size of bytes, which we'll get to in a bit. So right now we're gonna make a list of bytes. Which is okay. It's gonna be easy. Okay, so we have this list of bytes. The first thing I want to do is make a string called the name. So bytes dot add and this will be game object dot name dot length. No problem, right? Might have to convert that to byte. Okay, not hard. Alright, so we're going to do a byte name length, which is going to be game object dot name dot length as byte. Okay. We're going to do a string name equals game object dot name. What's wrong with this? This operator. Okay, now we got to use the convert thing. Convert that 2 byte. Alright, cool. So we're just designing our packet, right? So game object, we're going to get the name length into name. Alright, let's go straight into Unity, this guy. we're getting all of this. So all of this is coming with us. Oh, it's kind of not in a nice format. Okay. And I'm going to kind of just push it all back and then push it forward. And then push this a little more forward. Okay. And so I'm going to comment all this. So this is what I want to send across the network. That stuff. So, okay. Why not? Byte. We'll just say object hide flags equals 0. Byte. Will it be a byte? Now these will be ints. Int. This will be prefab parent object. For now, that will just be 0 until we actually implement it. Prefab internal. I don't know what the difference is between those two things, but I won't worry about it right now. I'm gonna make this a byte. Byte serialized version equals 4. And that might be what kind of object this is. Okay, no problem. Okay, byte. We'll say number of components equals will be game object dot let's go Unity objects. Now what? Okay, yeah, that's okay. I can convert this to byte. And I just want to see what does that look like. Oh, it's not implemented yet. Okay, well, let's just make it. For each component in components components of type equals new list of components, and then for each component, if component is type, return, not return, components of type dot add component. and then return components of type dot to array. Easy. And oh, type. But type is a type, right? Type is a variable, but it's used like a type. Yeah, because it's a type variable. Type dot what? Oh well. Huh. Type dot assembly equals full name. Gets a value indicating whether the type is a class or a delegate. Okay. Is enum, is all of that. Is primitive, is public, is sealed. Let's run to the web right quick. I have a question. Okay, let's grab this. C# type is type variable, something like that. The other answers all contain significant omissions. The is operator does not check if the runtime is exactly the given type. Rather, it checks if the runtime is compatible with the given type. Okay. Yep. But checking for... Yes, so I agree with that. Oh, is assignable from type of... Yes, that is what I want. Alright, so X is the X is the X is the object, and those are the... Okay, so type of this is assignable from... Yes. Okay, cool. It's assignable from. That's what I'm looking for. Back to the code. I think I'm in Unity Network. Yeah. Type, let's say... Let me see if I'm reading that right. Type of tiger is assignable from tiger. So animal is assignable from, yeah, from this type. Okay, cool. So I'm going to say type that is assignable from component dot get type. Excellent. Good job, C#. Alright, I buy it. Uh-oh, mouse kinda died. Alright, here we go. Name length. Yeah, so all this is good. Okay. So number of components, we got that. And now for each int, let's just go for each component in what we did here. I know we're just doing it twice. Kind of silly, but it's okay. Okay, so for each component and game object components, we're gonna say bytes.add range, bit converter dot get bytes of an int. So component dot get instance ID. There we go. So this will tell me how many of them, and this will tell me the actual ID. Okay. Very good, very good. So I think I got this part. I'm going to say byte layer equals convert to byte convert to bytes the layer. So game object dot layer. There we go. Okay. Next part. Convert to byte the length of the game object, and now we're gonna say oh, I guess I'm not ready for that yet. Let's just say a list of int is gonna be components. Component IDs equals new list of ints. Guess we're not doing any conversions just yet. So I got some bytes, some ints. And we'll just add. There we go. Alright, so we got the name. Okay, geez, here we go. String tag equals game object dot tag icon. Don't exactly know, so I'm just gonna say byte. No, let's go int icon equals 0. Nav mesh layer equals 0. Byte static editor flags equals 0. Let's say bool is active equals game object dot enabled active. I say active self, and then all done. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba. Alright. So this is the data we want to transfer over every like 10 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds. So now that we have all this information, I'm going to go ahead and start populating this bytes array. So bytes.add she's here we go. Bytes.add object hide flags bytes.add bit converter dot 2 bytes no get bytes of prefab parent object, and this could be an add range of internal, and this next one I'm going to do like this, and this could be the serialized version, and this could be the number of components. Hopefully there's not more than 255 of those. And then we're just going to say for each int component ID in component IDs bytes.add range bit converter.get bytes component ID. Alright, good deal. So we got that list, and then we can add layer name length. Here we go. Layer name length bytes.add range bit converter.get bytes. What am I doing? Name. Let's see, what happens if I would say like encoder or encoding dot ASCII dot get bytes game object dot name dot length. Excuse me. Convert that 2 bytes I think that's gonna be okay. Alright, we'll try it out. Alright, so we got layer, name length, name. You know we're gonna have to do tag length. Tag length. This would be game object.tag. Okay, so we got the name, the tag, and let's keep it going. Icon. Nav mesh layer. We can add this straight as what? Static editor flags. Right. Get bytes of a bool, which is active. Alright. What? What did I do? Okay. So this is what I'm going to do at the beginning. Bytes dot add let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's just add another 12 or 16, 20. Let's add 40. So 16, 56, 57, 58. Let's make them like 20 each. 58, 78, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 106, 107, 108. Alright, I kind of see it hard pressed to get to a short, but I think it might. So bit converter dot get bytes convert that to short or to int 16 or to u int 16. And this is going to be bytes dot count. At the byte add range. So the first two bytes are going to be the size of the packet. Let me look at Unity right quick. Trying to figure out what serialized version means. I see this one doesn't even have it, so not too worried about it. Okay. Alright, Unity YAML tag or YAML reference. Yeah, class ID. Alright, so yeah, you go even further than 255, so I'm gonna go with the short. Severed skulls, man. What happened? Why did your thing get deleted? Oh, it says hey LMAO. Okay. Very cool. It still showed up on the stream. Alright, so I'm gonna do this as a U short. Or maybe just an int. Maybe make everything ints right now just so it's easier, right? Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense. Byte converter Do you have an overload? No. How do you like add to the beginning of a array? Bytes dot insert maybe? Yeah, insert range at 0, and then the rest of this. So this is going to be the size of it, but actually we should go here. You actually probably don't even have to do it here. Let's go up here. Before we even do anything, we're going to say int class ID equals 4 for game object. Alright, so for bytes dot add range bit converter dot to int, no, get bytes of my int, which is, what int do I want to convert? Class ID. There we go. So I got my class ID, all the properties of the game object, and then at the end we're just going to insert the size of the packet at the beginning of the packet. Okay, I think that is what I wanted to do. Oh, I gotta return something though. Alright, so at the end here we're gonna return bytes dot to array. And that's it. So now we got the bytes of a game object. Very nice, very nice. Now what do I do from here? Alright, so I got the game object bytes. Okay, so if we go back to server controller, here's where we're creating a new packet. We got the server name, which I'm going to go ahead and rename that here. Server name size, yeah, I know, the other way is just much better. Okay, tick rate, update rate, tick, all this stuff I'm going to keep the same. This is where I'm going to change it, I think. This stuff, delete. This is where I'm going to get a little crazy. For each game object in how do I get all game objects, at least from the server? I mean, from this like script. Find objects of type. Alright, this is what I want to try. In Unity, not in we're gonna make a new scene in Unity, okay? And I'm going to make a quick test script, which I'll probably delete shortly. So let's see. Script, we're gonna test game object find. And what I want to test is what's the easiest way to get like all the components of a scene and all of the game objects of a scene from Unity scripting as opposed to just like looking at a list or something? So hopefully I did hit enter on there, so it should be loading up a new scene or a new oh, here we go. Yes, please. Alright, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to make a new empty game object, and I'm going to put this test game object find on here. I understand there's errors. There's always are errors. Yeah, I'm not there yet with that. I'm trying to make sure I don't kill everything. Oh man, I lost object type ID already. What's object type ID? I already forgot. Instance ID? I guess it's game object ID? Yeah. F6. No errors? Good. Okay, back to what I'm doing. We're trying to run this test object, this test find object thing. So I'm going to put that on the game object. Test game object find. Alright, all I want to do is somewhere on start, yeah. Just want to get a list of all the game objects. So to do that, what I'm thinking of doing is doing game object dot find objects of type, either way. And what if I just said game object? And I just said var game objects equals this. And then I just broke it right here. Alright, so that's running. Hit play here. Alright, cool. I like that very much. I actually like having the type. Yeah, I like this and then the type. Okay, cool. And what if I said the other way, component, and then I hit attach to Unity, and then I said then I undid this and I hit play here. Okay, that was actually not hard at all. Alright, so I'm going to implement that function in, you know, in my objects area. So stop that. Okay, so that was pretty easy. So let's see if we can get that implemented here. So with our game object, we're gonna say find. Is there any finds? A, B, C. It's not in alphabetical order, is it? All right. Find game objects with tag. Maybe it's just object. Where's our object? Oh, for object. There we go. Find objects of type. There we go. Okay, so I think I already have this implemented. So I should be able to say server controls. Here, if I just said for each game object in well, this is the thing. It's going to be object in we'll say obj in find objects of type. We'll say game object. Oh, good. I can just say game object here. Game object. Come on. Don't you have the generic of this? If not, I'll make it. Alright, here we go. We're going to make the generic of the same thing. So we're going to say a T. We're going to have a T array. We're going to delete all this. I love generics. For every object in this, if obj is T, count plus plus. So we got the count. Then we make an array.
Pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Okay, and then we'll just kind of do the same thing. If obj is T, do that. Oh, except we're gonna make a T array, not an obj array. And you're gonna be of T. Or as T. Alright, the T parameter cannot be used with the as operator because it does not have a class type. Okay. And we can't convert it to T because of what reason? Because it's redundant. Oh. But then what is this? Oh, it's obj array. Cannot implicitly, that's what I thought, so that's what I was trying to do this for. Can I implicitly convert? Right, so I was explicitly converting it. But then you're like, nope, cannot convert to T. Cast is redundant. Totally forgot. How do you cast to generic? Cast to generic. Alright, so I like to convert to type. Something like this. And then enjoy. Alright, cool. I know this is like more optimal, but I really want this to be more readable. So I'm going to make a list of T. And we'll just say objects equal new list of T. And then just do this. I'm not right. This is not really supposed to be optimal code yet. This is just supposed to be readable code. So I'm going to say objects.add obj. I can't go as T, right? Or I can't say T like this, right? So we're going to have that other thing I just had. Oh, 1 second. Be right back. Okay. I am going to say objects.add this crazy thing. I'm going to rename this to objects of type. That way this can be like that. Don't have to do any of this craziness. And there we go. And maybe, just maybe, I could just say type. Find objects of type. Type.getType. Okay. I'll let this do its thing like that. Alright, I like that. So that works pretty good. Find objects of type. Make a new list of T. If the object is a T, go ahead and convert it and add it to the list and then return it. Nice. So back to server controller. Find objects of type game object. That seems to be working fine. And we're going to go ahead and say, shoot, I don't even know. List of that's what I'm going to do. List of, not array list, just a regular list of game objects. game objects equals find objects of type game object. Oh, it's actually a game object array. Even better. Okay, cool. So now we have a game objects array. What I really would like is a component. Component array. Find objects of type components. There we go. So we have a list of all the game objects, a list of all the components. But okay, my game object has a get bytes function, but my component does not. So this one's going to be a little tougher because we're going to have to do it for each component. And for right now, I'm going to do it to just for transfer. So let's do that. So if I look at my game object, no, if I look at my util function, we can see we have this crazy function for getting the bytes of a game object. Now I'm going to get the bytes of a component. Okay, so the bytes of a component, so we would say this, and this is an extension method to my already done components class. And what we're doing here is we're actually looking at the Unity file and trying to convert this stuff over into what we're transferring over the network. So, okay, Control Tab. Alright, transform. That's the name of the component. Yep, all that looks good. And root order. Alright, cool. So this is the stuff I want to convert over. So I'm going to comment all this out just for my reference while I'm editing this file. Okay, so class ID of a transform. I think I still have my... Oh, I don't. So I need Unity YAML reference. Should totally keep that somewhere. So the YAML reference for a transform is 4. Wait, I thought that's what it was for a game object. Game object is 1. My bad. So for a game object, the class ID should be 1. For a transform, class ID is 4. Okay, cool. Object hide flags, prefab, so those things are cool. So I got the tag, the hide flags, this. Alright, serialized version does not exist. Int game object equals component dot game object. There you go. Dot get instance ID. I just want the ID of the game object. Okay, cool. So we got these things. Let's keep it going. Vector 3. Nope, this is going to be a quaternion. Quaternion local rotation is going to equal game object dot... Oh, this is what I forgot to do. If component is transform, then we'll be doing this. Class ID, object, all of this. Game object. local rotation equals sorry. We should totally just say transform equals component. Well, we already know it is transform, so we can just do a hard cast transform component. There we go. So transform game object ID, transform.local rotation. I'm going to delete a lot of this stuff. So we got local rotation. We're going to have a vector3 local position equals transform.local position. We're going to have a vector3 local scale equals transform.local scale. And then, oh, children. I guess children would be other transforms? Yeah. Well, we'll make it an int. Int number of children equals transform dot child count. And then when I did something up here for that, right, I made a list of, I guess what I could do is make a list of transforms, and we'll call it children. And definitely got to make it a new list. And I just say for int I equals 0, I less than child number of children, either one. I'll just do it here. Transform that child count I plus plus, and then we just say transform dot. What am I doing? Children dot add transform dot get child at I. There we go. So now we got all the children. The father. Guess that'll be an int. Let's just do this. Transform.parent equals null will be 0, otherwise it's the other thing. Okay, cool. And root order int root order equals, is that a thing? I don't know. I'm gonna say 0 until I know what it is. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna get bytes, class ID, object, yes, yes, yes. There is no serialized version. There is a, yeah, I don't know why anyway, not what I'm talking about right now. Bit converter dot get bytes, size, number of children, double parentheses. Then we're gonna say for each this is what I wanted to do. Make it, instead of a list of transforms, let's make it a list of ints. And then we just name you children IDs. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So, get the number of children, children IDs, and now we need the father. I am your transform father. Alright, let's do this twice, I guess, and delete the rest. Here we go. We'll do father, and we'll do root order. And I forgot one important one. The insert. So okay, let's see if I'm adding this right. So I'm getting the class ID, getting the object hide flags, the prefab parent object and internal. Oh, I don't think I'm getting the game object. Interesting. Don't know why I didn't do that. But let's go ahead and grab it. Game object. Oh, because it probably wasn't on the game object one. And then, oh yeah, didn't even get the other stuff. Jeez. So get bytes. Or better yet, I think these have their own get bytes. Local rotation dot get. Is it just vector3 dot get bytes? Oh, come on. I thought vector3 had to get bytes. All right. Let's hurry up and get to get vector. Vector3. You do. Public byte get bytes. You totally got it. What am I missing here? Local rotation dot get. Oh, that's a quaternion. Quaternion, I also need to get bytes for you, man. So I'm gonna copy this. Quaternion, you need to get bytes method. We need a R, I, J, K, and this all is going to be 4 times 4, which is 16, and then this is how I'm going to roll with it. Bytes R, bytes I, bytes J, bytes K. And then R, I, J, K. And return all. Nice. So now, back to my util function, local rotation get bytes. Yay! Local position get bytes. Local scale get bytes. There we go. So we got the ID, object hide, prefab game object, the local rotation, the local position, and the local scale, number of children. And then each one of those children, the father, the root order, and then the size of the entire packet. Okay, great. Alright. Jeez. Excuse me. Hour 20 minutes already. Been a long one. So now we have the transform component. here's what I'm missing. The actual ID of this thing. Int ID. Instance ID equals. Yeah, should it be like that? Class ID, instance ID equals transform.get instance ID. There we go. Missing that on here too. Let's do it here. Int instance ID. I almost want to do it first. Instance ID, class ID. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but sorry, just thinking. Instance ID should totally be GameObject dot instance ID. Cool. Component. Yep. And then don't forget to actually add it to your byte array. Man, I really want to do it first. I'm going to do it first. Excuse me. Instance ID. I'm totally doing instance ID first. Forget it. Okay. Alright, so we got an ID for the object, we got what type it is, and then we go forward. Okay. What do you want? Otherwise, you're going to return just null. Or return new byte 0. Okay. So I think we got the transform. Alright, let's see. Gotta respond to a quick text. Someone's dropping off a dog here. Alright. Anything else I should do? I think that's good for now. So we have very nice code to like get the bytes for either a game object or an instance for a component. For a transform component. Alright, so back to example game. Nope. Server controller, yes. So now we should be able to get the components and get the game objects. So when I receive the packet, I should get a list of all the components first and then all the game objects. So that's great. So I don't need to do any of this junk, really. I do like having a list of bytes though, so I might keep that going. So server name size, server name, tick rate, update rate, tick. Alright, so all that's cool. Now the rest, I'm just going to do it like this. P.append this is what I'm going to do. For each component, I don't even know why I need that other thing. find objects of type component p.append component dot get bytes. Get bytes. Oh, come on. You totally have that function. It's in the util, right? Oh, I didn't name it what I wanted to name it. Get bytes. You totally got that. Oh, your util function totally got that. So util. This component get bytes, right? Get bytes. I'll figure it out in just a bit. For each game object in find objects of type game object p.append game object dot get bytes. Alright. What's that? Capital G. So where is server controller? It should be up here. And it should totally have that. Alright. Find objects of type. Alright, cool. So that is how I'm going to handle it. Yeah. What if it said util? What's the name of our class here? I mean, I obviously see that. Oh, maybe because there's some errors here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I totally don't mind just doing it here. List of bytes equals yeah, I like just doing it here in a list of bytes. I don't know why I'm trying to do it all in my packet class. So list of bytes equals new list of bytes, and then just kind of do the same thing that I'm doing here, except all I gotta do is just bytes dot add. I mean, okay, I kind of see why I'm doing it like the one below. Alright, I think I gotta go pretty soon, so I might call this. I'm gonna put it like a timeout and come back in just a bit because I have to do some lunch and get ready for the day a little bit. But I'll be back to finish this packet stuff and show the see something visual on the client based on what the server is producing. So almost there. We'll be there very soon. Relatively. Alright. I hate to leave it like this, but I'm totally gonna leave it like this. Be back soon. Bye guys.